Have you ever really thought about it? How does a tiny pill that you swallow somehow navigate the entire vast, complicated landscape of your body to fix one very specific problem? It seems like magic, doesn't it? Well, it's not magic. It's just really, really elegant science. And today, we're going to unlock that fascinating biological puzzle.
I mean, seriously, think about it. How does an aspirin know to go after your headache? Or an allergy pill know to stop your nose from running? It's not just bouncing around in there, hoping for the best. Nope. There's a hidden language inside of you, a super precise system of communication that we are about to decode.
So, to get our heads around this, we need to zoom right in on the science that's built to answer this exact question. This is where the real story begins.
Okay, the official name for this field is pharmacodynamics. I know, it sounds a little intimidating, but it really just boils down to two simple questions. What does a drug actually do to your body, and how does it do it? We're not talking about how your body absorbs the drug or gets rid of it. That's a whole other topic. This is all about the drug's mission once it's inside you.
So how do drugs get anything done? Well, they interact with specific protein targets inside you. And they can go after things like enzymes or ion channels, but the target we're zooming in on today, the real star of our show, is arguably the most important one: receptors. Think of these guys as the gatekeepers of your cells, and they are the key, literally, to our entire store.
All right, let's talk about these receptors. The best way to understand them is with this classic analogy that just perfectly explains how they work. I want you to imagine your body is filled with billions and billions of tiny, highly specific locks, and they're on the surface of every single one of your cells. This right here, this is the core concept. It's the whole ball game. Just like your house key won't start your car, the molecules in a drug are shaped with incredible precision to fit only specific molecular locks in your body. This idea is the foundation of pretty much all of modern medicine.
So, these receptors are basically protein locks sitting on the surface of our cells, just waiting for the right chemical key. And when that key fits and turns, bam! It sends a signal inside the cell, and that triggers some kind of action. Speed up, slow down, release a hormone, you name it.
Now here's where it gets really cool. Not all of these locks work the same way. We can basically group them into two main types of gatekeepers, and each one has a totally different style of opening the door.
On one side, you've got the doormen. These guys are direct. They're super fast. The science name for them is ligand-gated ion channels. And on the other side, you've got the messengers. They don't open the door themselves. Instead, they relay a message to someone on the inside to do it for them. These are called G-protein-coupled receptors, or GPCRs for short. So the huge difference here is speed and how they work. The doorman, that ion channel, is literally a physical gate. The key turns, the gate flies open, and ions rush in. It's an immediate electrical response. We're talking milliseconds. But the messenger, the GPCR, is a bit more sophisticated. The key binds, and the GPCR wakes up another protein inside the cell, which then kicks off this whole chain reaction of events. It's a slower, more complex biochemical signal.
And you might think that slower messenger system sounds less efficient. But get this, 36%. Let that sink in for a second. Over a third of all drugs approved by the FDA work by targeting these GPCRs. They're absolutely central to everything, from our sense of sight to keeping our blood pressure in check. They're a huge deal.
Okay, so we've covered the locks, the receptors. Now let's talk about the keys. Because as you're about to see, not every key that fits into a lock is actually designed to open it. So, the proper scientific name for one of these keys is a ligand. It's just a catch-all term for any molecule that binds to a receptor. This could be the natural stuff our body already makes, like hormones, or it could be the drugs we design to either mimic or block those natural keys.
First up, an agonist. This is the key that fits the lock perfectly and turns it. It activates the receptor, basically flipping the on switch, telling the cell to do its job. This is what you want when your body maybe isn't making enough of its own natural key.
An antagonist, though, is totally different. This is like a key that fits in the lock, but then breaks off, completely jamming the mechanism. It binds to the receptor, but it doesn't activate it at all. It just sits there, physically blocking the natural on-switch key from ever getting in. This is your off switch, perfect for when a process in your body is going into overdrive.
And then there's this really clever middle ground, the partial agonists. The best way to think of this one is like a dimmer switch. It fits, it turns the lock, and it activates the receptor, but only a little bit. Even if every single lock has this key in it, the response will never hit 100%.
This lets scientists and doctors have incredibly fine-tuned control over all sorts of processes in the body.
So, let's recap. We have locks, and we have keys that can turn them on, turn them off, or just dim the lights. So now let's zoom back out and see how this amazing, tiny molecular dance actually translates into the health benefits and, yeah, the side effects that we all experience.
At its core, it really is this simple. A drug's effect is determined completely by which specific locks it interacts with and whether it's acting like an on switch, an off switch, or a dimmer. The more specific the key is for only the right lock, the more targeted the effect is going to be.
And this leads us to one of the biggest challenges in all of medicine, finding the therapeutic window. This is that perfect sweet spot for a dose, just enough of the drug to hit the right number of locks to work, but not so much that it starts hitting other locks all over the body and causing unwanted negative side effects.
And this brings us right back to where we started. A drug works its magic when its keys find and turn the right locks in the right part of the body. But side effects? Those often happen because that same type of lock also exists somewhere else in your body. Or maybe the key isn't perfectly designed, and it accidentally fits into a similar but different lock somewhere else, causing a reaction you never wanted.
Which leaves us with this final, fascinating question. The whole future of this science is about designing smarter and smarter keys. Keys so specific, they only fit one lock in the entire human body. Or even keys that can tell a lock to send one specific message, but ignore another. As we get better and better at this, the ultimate goal becomes pretty clear. Can we one day design the perfect key? A medicine that does exactly what we want it to and absolutely nothing else?